Hello and welcome to QU-AX. Today I'd like to show you how to assemble an OnlyOne or Luxus unicycle. Unpack the carton box, and here we got all parts: the wheel with tire and cranks, the frame, saddle and seat post, and all little parts from the small carton box, like the seat clamp quick release, the pedals, bearing shells, screws, nuts, and washers. And now let's first start by identifying left and right on the wheel set. On the inside of the crank, you've got little ladders. In this case, there's an L for left, and here you can see the R for right. So that's the right crank. Same on the pedals, you've got an L for left and R for right. So we'll start off by taking the left pedal and threading it counterclockwise into the crank. Do this with your fingers first to carefully feel the thread and not to damage it, and in the end, you tighten it with a 15mm wrench. Check after the first rides, also same for the cranks, check them with an 8mm Allen key and retighten if necessary. Tighten firmly, and then on the right side, take the right pedal and screw it clockwise into the crank. First again with your fingers to feel the thread and not to damage anything, and then you take a 15mm wrench and tighten it fully into the crank. Now let's put the frame on the wheel set. The frame has a little slot at the back, and this slot should face backwards. So obviously the crank in the front here facing to the camera is the left crank. Flip it around to work on the shells, and as you can see, the holes in the frame have a little slot too, just like in the bearing shells that I just put on. Now take the screws that have a little nose that fits perfectly in that slot, which helps you to fix the screws because you can just put your fingers on the screw, fitting the little nose into the slot, and then you just need one key to fix washer and nut onto that screw. So I'll put that on with my fingers first, and the same for the other side, and then you should tighten both screws, alternating between them so that the little distance, the little slot between frame and bearing shell is equal on both sides. Tighten both nuts in a way that the bearing is still clear to turn easily, but that the wheel is fixed into the frame. I'll now just keep my finger on the screw from downside and then take the ratchet to tighten the nut. First on this side. As you can see, this works very easily and handy with the QU-AX ratchet. And now on this side, just tightening the nut until the slot between frame and shells is equal on both sides, like this. Do the same on the other side by tightening both screws in a way that the wheel can still turn easily in the frame but that it's fixed, and then you can start putting the seat clamp on the frame. The seat clamp has a slot just like the frame, and align both sluts in a way that they face both backwards. Open the lever, and with a little rod you can adjust the lever tension, how much it's clamping. So now I'll take the seat post and the saddle. The seat post is already shortened, and the only one you need to shorten it for short riders. And on the Luxus you have a second seat post for the small riders in the beginning. Close the rod in a way that the lever closes firmly and clamps the saddle in the frame. Adjust them both facing forwards, and then inflate the tire to the recommended pressure on the tire. Then you're ready to ride. Have fun and see you soon with QU-AX.